Hello everyone, this is Yael from Yael Alchemy, and I'm here to bring you the message of the Divine Masculine for his beloved for the week of July 1 to 7. Okay, so as always, I've already shuffled the deck, prayed over them, and picked out these cards. And before we begin, thank you to everyone who did get the Solstice Booster and for your loving feedback. It was wonderful. It was I didn't expect the most amazing feedback to come out of that healing session, but apparently it really amped up and helped integrate all those ascension codes that were downloaded during the solstice. And it's still up. If you do want to check that out, do check that out on my website. But thank you from the bottom of my heart. It was truly a pleasure being of service to you. Anyway, for the message, I haven't done this message in a while, and so I'm also quite curious how this will turn out. At the bottom of the deck, we have here what is this? The Four of Coins. Okay, we have the Four of Coins, and here we have this rabbit, and he's trying to just escape. He's like a merchant. He just escaped, and this represents, usually in the message of the Divine Masculine, since I haven't been doing this for a while, when I go through the cards at the bottom of the deck, that usually pertains to the state of the Divine Masculine, and the cards here would be his message. Okay, so here the Divine Masculine feeling quite a bit disgruntled about everything that he has accumulated and feeling it's not quite enough. That's why he has this desire to sort of flee that situation, because despite whatever he has hoarded or he has accumulated, it doesn't give him that much satisfaction. Okay, and then we have here the Seven of Coins, and this really pertains to introspection, really looking inside himself and sort of analyzing the different aspects of himself, but doing this by his lonesome. I think the reading last week or last week, it was the Divine Feminine that sort of needed some space, okay, to integrate the Ascension codes. Here, the Divine Masculine detaching himself in the meantime as he escapes. Sort of, this is not really an escape, but it's more like trying to find another vantage point, because the vantage point that he found himself in, despite everything that he has accomplished or accumulated in life, it didn't sit quite well with him. Okay, so now he's kind of withdrawing, especially in 3D, and trying to assess with a view to having a spiritual perspective on things, on his life, basically, on the different facets of his life and the different facets of himself, and trying to figure out, trying to piece together, why is it that he has all this and yet there seems to be something missing, so to speak. Okay, and here the next card we have is the Eight of Cups, and in this Eight of Cups we continue the theme of having that higher vantage point, but this is this analysis of the Divine Masculine of his state right now continues, and not only is he analyzing his possessions, he's also analyzing his feelings. Perhaps what he was fond of before, what he used to put a lot of stock in, it's not working for him anymore. And that's why there's sort of a plateau when it comes to his emotional growth. Because if something before gave him that much satisfaction, then that's not the case now. And he feels that in order for his soul to grow, for him to improve as a person, he has to detach himself and sort of leave that situation, whether permanently or temporarily. That's for him to decide. But there is a need to take himself out of that situation, which used to give him a lot of happiness and joy. Okay, and we see the reason why, because he is in the process of exploring and introspection, and because here there is an intuitive feeling for the divine masculines that there is this divine thread that is running through his life, and that he's meant to do something more or something else. Okay, his thoughts now turn towards his ultimate destiny. Okay, because there are some divine masculines who are not in such a bad position. Actually, if you look at it from the vantage point of 3D, they're all set in life. They may have financial security, they may have advance in their careers, but then again, why? Why is there this feeling of not being contented? Why is it that a lot of things that used to be important to him, used to be valuable for him, that he used to find a lot of joy in, they're not working anymore? And so with that introspection comes his thoughts turn towards destiny. Okay, and that's why we have this Wheel of Fortune card, and he's realizing now how these threads of destiny of him and other people in his life, other people that he has interacted with, even those twins who have been in separation, how they intertwine and all fall into place, and he's trying to figure out what that means, whether that be just a momentary interaction, sort of like bumping to each other, or a long-term interaction. He's trying to figure out how that plays. Okay, so again, he is assessing, just like the divine feminine, who is weighing things, okay, and really concentrating on discerning what has come full circle and what still needs to be simmered, so to speak. Okay, and so he turns his attention to destiny, what he's meant to do, and he is doing this largely with his heart playing a large part in his introspection and his analysis, because here we have the Page of Cups, and here he is wanting to really tap into his feelings, the childlike feelings, wherein there were less expectations, but there was maximum joy. There was less disappointments, because any disappointment, you remember when you were kids, okay, sometimes there would be a disappointment. Perhaps your dad couldn't go to your recital, or your mom couldn't take you to a concert that she promised to take you to. There were disappointments there, but then they were easily overcome by something else. So the threshold of really bringing that bliss and joy in your life was low, in the sense, and that was good, because you focus not on the disappointing thing or situation, but you learn to channel that and transmute that into another situation which you recognize brings you joy. And that is what the Divine Master, that's a sort of pet project for now. Because, look, all these things, all these tangible things, not doing it for him. He thought it would. He thought that, getting everything down pat in 3D, checking those things off his checklist, wherein, okay, get a nice job, advance in your career, get a nice house, travel occasionally, whatever is in his checklist for success in 3D. Okay, he seems to have gotten most of them, if not all, checked. But then again, look, there's a little bit of disgruntledness, resentment at perhaps what he had to sacrifice to achieve all those possessions. But now he sees another, it's like another future for him. He's trying to explore that. It's like another ending for him. And he's tapping into his inner child, what brought him joy before. And that's why we have the foxes here and the shadow play. Okay? Because he's more mesmerized by the shadow. And this is in contrast with the material things here that are very tangible. Okay? Because it's like he was set on accumulating the material things, but then the value he attributed to that, in terms of the currency of joy, very different from how he attributed joy to those things that brought him joy when he was a child. Okay, and then that's where he gets back and goes through another cycle, because this is the Ace of Cups. It's like he is in the process of renewing himself, renewing his emotional capacity to love and to enjoy and to have emotional fulfillment. Okay, I need to pause. I'll be back and let's read the rest of the message. Okay, hold on. Okay, let's get to the message of the Divine Masculine for his beloved. Let's open all the cards first. We have the Nine of Coins. We have the Page of Coins. We have the Tower card. We have the King of Wands. We have the Temperance card. We have the Four of Cups. And lastly, we have the Knight of Coins. Okay, so what is the Divine Masculine telling his beloved right now? Basically, we have here first Nine of Coins. He's saying that this is a card that speaks of relaxation, success, that you've reached a certain finish line when it comes to whatever endeavors that his beloved has put her time and attention to, and it's time for her to relax. Okay, and the next card is the Page of Coins, and this has to do with spiritual contemplation. Okay, it's like he's saying that in the real world, in 3D, you've done enough for at least. It may not be the maximum because it's not yet a 10. It means there's something else that needs to be done. But it's like the saying that, what's that saying? It's like when you pray to God, you don't stop by praying to God because you have to do the legwork. Okay, and then divine grace will flow in to make that a success. I know there's a saying that's much more succinct, but I can't call it to mind right now. But basically, that's what he's saying. Okay, that relax. You've achieved a certain level wherein you can pat yourself on the back and turn your attention to higher matters. Okay, which is basically what the Divine Feminine has been doing. And this is, he's also saying that when things don't go your way, okay, and as planned, okay, because no matter how much work you put on into it, and how much spiritual fervor or how much in touch with your spirituality you are. Sometimes, because there's so many different energies involved, so many different people exercising their own free will regarding a certain situation, things don't go your way. Okay, but what he's saying is that because you have anchored yourself into the higher realms of ascension, is that you now have mastered the tools to plow through this, okay, through the tower. And this is because here you have the King of Wands, and you can see here, this is fire, but this is fire that is unbridled, but this is fire that has mastery. And it's this mastery of how you manifest your will, how you navigate through whatever bumps, challenges that you encounter, that you will go through it. That's what he's saying. You will go through it. But it comes with a gentle reminder, okay, that because in trying to get over this tower card, this hump, okay, he's saying just always remember, because this requires a tremendous amount of energy to overcome, always bring yourself back into balance. Okay, and that is the danger of when you focus too much on a single element, let's say fire. Okay, and because the situation calls for it, so that you don't get consumed by this tower moment, that you have to call up all your abilities, you have to tap into that inner fire so that it can meet and not be, because in a tower moment, if you call up, let's say, cups, and you're going to find it very difficult to overcome this hurdle. It has to be the same element and greater, because this fire has greater mastery. Okay, that's just alchemy. And the Divine Masculine is saying is to always remember to bring yourself back into balance, because there is a danger that of being numb. This is the Four of Cups. There is apathy here, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. And this usually happens with people who are hardened by experience. They've experienced so much hard knocks in life that they build a shield around them. Okay, that's very hard to penetrate, especially for those people who relate to others using the heart. And that is what the Divine Masculine is saying, that you may have gone through all this, okay, and passed with flying colors, because that's the middle card here, this mastery, okay, and it's the King of Wands. So successfully managing this hurdle, but he's saying he is actually calling into for the gentler side of the Divine Feminine to resurface. And this makes sense, because for the longest time, if you see the Twin Flame weekly readings, the Divine Feminine Collective has been imbibing qualities of the Divine Masculine, at the same time that the Divine Masculine has been trying to inculcate the aspects of the Divine Feminine within himself. So he's saying now, be careful not to numb yourself to the gentler side of things, not to lose the Divine Feminine aspect within you, and not to get hardened. Because even though you go through all these hardships, he is with you. You can see this bear here, and he has this companion. The man has a companion in the form of a bear. Okay, the bear is representative of the Divine Feminine. So always remember that even if you think that you've gone through all this by your lonesome, that's not true. He has been with you, by you, and beside you all this time. And even if there is still a little bit of more challenges lying ahead, no matter how rough the terrain, unforgiving the terrain is, And I'm not saying it is, okay? The point here is that he's saying that you're not alone. He's been with you this entire time, even if he is focused. See, this is his way of, because he's imbibing the qualities of the divine feminine. And you know, one of the great qualities of a divine feminine is to be able to multitask. Okay, so at the same time this has been happening, he has been with you, whether energetically or physically, as you go through all this. Okay, and that's the assurance that the divine masculine is giving his beloved at this time. And a very nice and very intimate message here. This comes off as really intimate because he loves you as is. But these experiences, okay, that you've had to go through, because you went through that ascension journey, and these experiences are exactly there to mold you or to catapult you into a higher level of ascension. He's saying, don't let it harden you, okay? Be as soft as he is trying to get, okay? And that he is with you, he will be with you, all this, throughout all this. Okay, very nice message there for the divine masculine. Okay, so that's the message for this week. Of course, this is a general reading. If you'd like to check out the energetic toolbox, please go to my website and see if there is a tool there that may possibly help you, whatever stage in life you're at and whatever you're going through. Okay, so that's it, everyone. Take care. Bye.